a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but that beauty, a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but that beauty, a rich man's world. A rich man's world. Beautiful land, but
This is Young TP. You are listening to your Don't Listen podcast. Stop playing.
A rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this
Yo, what's up, good people? This is your boy TP from your Don't Listen podcast. And today, I want to have a serious conversation with some folks. Because during my travels, through my daily routines, I find myself absorbing some content. I like to watch, like I said before, other YouTube creators. And like sometimes in the midst of me doing that, I'll see some, mainstream bullshit. Let's keep it 100. I'll see something and I'll click on it because of what's on the title. And lately I've been seeing a lot of what can I say? People taking one word and what it means and changing it around so it could fit their agenda. And, I think an explanation need to be told on some of these people. And let's get to the root cause of it. We're going to try to do that. And we're going to also try to explain to some people the misguidedness that they're under, in my opinion. Because there's a word that gets floated around and has been co-opted by many other groups. And the word that I'm speaking of is the word woke. Yes, people, the word woke. Now, over the years, when I first heard the word and the term used, it was used for enlightenment. And what I mean by that was the people that used it, the word woke, was meant for people to say, hey, pay attention. Pay attention to what politicians are doing. Pay attention to what police are doing. Pay attention to what's going on in the world and not focus on what's going on just inside your little space. You understand? So lately, I've been seeing a lot of right-wing media people, and I've been seeing a lot of supposed left-wing people using the word woke and applying it to positions or applying it to characterizations that the word woke don't apply to. Because literally, when I first heard the word woke, it was basically when some people was stealing money like they normally do on Wall Street, and it was a big movement against it. And the people that went against it was using that word woke, and they was talking about, we are aware, we are woke, because we see the thievery and we see politicians providing cover, and we see the billionaire class getting richer. Yeah, we're woke now. Yes. So when I first heard the word woke, it was used in that context. Now, fast forward to today, right? Fast forward till today, where you got a whole lot of these people using the word woke in every single place they can use it. Every single place they can use it, they try to use the word to disparage the word, number one, and to get a whole bunch of people to hate a certain other type of people, and for the agenda of the word that they're using it for now anyway, to use it for like a class war type of issue where, you know, every person that has a feminist agenda, they use that word woke. For every LGBTQ, whatever the agenda, they use the word woke. When you get these elite liberals that want to come and co-opt movements, and they want to walk around talking about their woke. They want to walk around and talking about they woke, when a lot of them are just joining the cause because they think it's something cool to do. Now, I'm not saying every, white person that come and join the cause for colored people fake or anything like that. By all means, we need everybody on board to affect any kind of change that needs to happen. But, like I said, it's a lot of people co-opting the word woke and misusing it for different things to like disparage the word. Like I said, the word woke, when I first heard it, and I thought it was in the right context, where people, like I said in the other videos, when I said, hey, people are awake now, they waking up out of the matrix. They tired of the same old go along, get along gang coons, right? And they tired of, you got these so-called people on the left who prescribe and always talking about culture issues and wars to describe their agenda as being woke. Now, listen, I will never disparage anybody or their community. Gay people community, they want to fight for things. Yes, go ahead and do that. Feminist movement, y'all go ahead and do that as well. But we need to stop putting the two together and all kind of other culture war things together and lumping it in with the word woke, because woke is being aware. That's basically what it comes down to. When you are woke, you are being aware of the corruption, aware of all type of different other things that negatively affect you materially. Kind of like what's going on now with the war and how it's affecting us inflation wise. And they always blaming other people for the reason why we got high prices when it's really these companies out here price gouging us. That's being woke. It's not attributed to any kind of movement other than you being aware of what's going on around you. But, you know, you got all these groups co-opting it. You got these goofy ass TV people co-opting it. And you got these politicians co-opting it on the right wing side, trying to make everything seem like, oh, everybody's woke now and they're complaining. Well, no, everybody's aware of your corruption and see what you're doing. And they want to conflate it with being woke. Okay? And talk about all the other issues, the gay agenda, the feminist agenda, the cancel culture agenda, all that being considered being woke. So let's do a deep dive today. Okay, let's do a serious pod today and talk about some of this stuff. Now, I got a few videos I want to show y'all that kind of makes my point for me. Okay. And here at Don't Listen Podcast, like I said, every time I do something, I like to bring receipts. That way, you know, I'm not bullshitting you. Okay. And I also tell you to go do your own investigations. Don't just take my word for it, because the tone that's going on now, they will like to paint me as a person that's giving out misinformation. There is another agenda where, you know, the cancel culture, Israel, you could be getting canceled by people that you know and don't even know why, but, you know, that's a whole nother pod. But the cancel culture is real. And then you got these websites that people posting on now, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. They are starting to bring the hammer down on people as far as censoring what people are saying. And it's mostly small people like a YouTuber like me or some other people. Katie Helper just got canceled by telling facts about what's going on between Israel and Palestine. And a host of whole other individuals who are being canceled because they are telling truths that corporate media don't want you to know, corporate elites don't want you to know, and people that run the show in general. So for anybody to come out that's not a part of the corporate media agenda. It's not a part of any kind of so-called legitimate journalism, which is co-opted by our government and its other entities and arms. If you don't fall in line with that, your video will not reach the masses the way it should be. Because if we all on the same algorithm, folks, a lot of people won't get no play, and a lot of people will. Okay? So let's get back to why we're here today and why I'm doing this podcast, okay? I came across a few videos, actually a lot of them, just to do a little bit of research for this pod. I had watched quite a few videos, and I said, which one should I bring to the people? Which one should I bring? And I picked out two because I don't want to go super long. I know people's attention spans aren't what they used to be. But a truth teller needs to be heard. And that's what I want to be. So let's get to the first video. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Because there's really some clowns out here. And I want y'all to be aware of these freaking clowns. And this guy here is a freaking politician. Okay? And he's a super clown. And listen to what he say. And then he attributes it, what he says, to being woke. But listen to this shit.
Senator John Kennedy is a Judiciary Committee member who joins us now. You could just punch a hole through a woman's face, broad daylight here in Midtown, after stabbing a woman with a screwdriver and murdering your grandmother. And it's like, oops, how did that happen, Senator? I wonder why.
Jesse, it's always been a mystery to me how some people made it to the top of the food chain. I'm talking about our woke leaders here in D.C. and in some of our major cities who persist in advocating defunding and disrespecting the police and other such dumbassery.
All right, listen to what he just said. This guy is a politician, right? Now, that's something you probably would expect out of me, to say a word like that. Dumbassery. That's not even a word, okay, number one. And look where he's at. Look where he's at on a supposed big media outlet or a commercial media outlet, and look how he's talking. This is one of y'all politicians, good people, but I'll continue. But he called woke people assholes, and he don't even know how to speak the English language where he's supposedly be from.
I think most Americans understand that there's some people in this world. I don't know why. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. But there's some people in this world who aren't sick. They aren't mixed up. They're not confused. It's not that their mother or father didn't love them enough. They're just antisocial. They hurt other people, and they take other people's stuff. And we need cops to stop them. Now, if we want to get control of this crime problem that we have, we're going to have to do a couple of things. Number one, we're going to have to hire more cops. New Orleans, in my state, needs 2,000 cops on the street. We've got less than 1,000. Number two, we're going to have to pay our cops. You're not going to get cops to work in this woke environment without paying them. Number three, and this might be the most important, our political leaders need to stand behind our cops. law enforcement cops have about 60 million encounters every year with the American people. Do some of them go bad? Sure. Are there cases of police brutality? A handful, and they're almost always prosecuted. The truth is that most cops will leave.
Okay. He just told a lie, good people, and I have to stop it right there and comment on that. He just said that in most cases of police brutality, most are being convicted for their crimes. That is an outright lie. Okay, that's a straight up lie. Okay, because most of them got away with it for many years until people were able to start recording them. That's number one. If you think about Ahmaud Arbery on that run, if that wasn't caught on video, you think those people would have got convicted of that crime? Now, in the case of police officers, they got to wear those dash cams and the vest cams on their gear now. Do you think those cases were or would have been a conviction on that case if it weren't for video? Because Black people and people of color and some of our white brothers and sisters have been taken down by police officers for years, and people been complaining about it for years. They were never believed. They always believed the cops. Until now, the video shows something different. And even now, with video, all of them don't get convicted. So that is a straight up lie, but let's continue.
Leave you alone unless you do illegal stuff. And our political leadership has got to stand behind them. Number four, we've got to get rid of these prosecutors whose mantra is see no evil, hear no evil, prosecute no evil. And number five, I would tell people, if you care to, avail yourself of your privileges under the Second Amendment. Mm-hmm. Now, I've said this before, and I mean it. I believe love is the answer. I do. But I also own a handgun just in case. Most Americans understand, our woke leaders don't, that what you allow is what will continue.
Could I add just...
And let me stop it there again, good people. Their reasoning behind talking about we need more cops is to me, in my opinion, is directly attributed to what they saw on the streets when people had enough, when they saw George Floyd get killed the way he did, and them people got in the streets. And it was every nationality out there together. When people got out in the streets, people had enough of the police brutality. And they seen people come together and like, yo, that is wrong. And we out here and we gonna make our voices heard. We gonna show y'all we ain't going for the shit no more. This is when all of a sudden they want to find money for the police. We need to hire more police. Every time you have an uprising of people, that's when you see this clear police presence. When you seen those Black people walking in the streets and Trump came out there with his people and they threw gas cans. It was so many people out there on a peaceful march. They had the police come out there throwing people in vans and all kinds of other shit. Right? But every time something like that happens, they want to throw money at the police. We need to hire more police. We need to hire more police. You know why they need to hire more police? Because people had enough of the bullshit and they are actually walking in the street. I'm very proud of the young people today who actually had the balls to get out there and do the shit, because this shit been happening for years and no movement ever happened like that until George Floyd. And they was the catalyst. So those are the people they talking about, the woke individuals that had enough. That's what woke is. Being aware. That's what woke is. Not this shit that they make up as being woke. That's other agendas combined into being woke. Okay? The LGBTQ community, the feminist movement, people that's talking about culture wars. They call that being woke and conflate it with being woke, which is people had enough of the bullshit and they see what's going on. But let's continue. Hold up, before we continue, you see how they find money for shit, because the elite people, the elites, the business owners and shit like that, they said they're burning down our stuff. They're burning. We need to protect our property. That's all they care about, really. And that's what they want to hire more police for, is to protect property, not to protect people. Okay? And being woke is the fact that you know that. That's what being woke is. The fact that you know that is being woke, not the bullshit they try to attribute it to with the culture war bullshit and all the other, communities that's been disparaged. And I'm not disparaging their claims because they have a claim. But they try to conflate all those things together as being woke, when woke at its core base and root of the word of being woke, to me, in my opinion, is being aware of the fuckery that's going on. That's what woke is. So let's keep it moving on this.
This one, we have to tell the truth, Senator. I don't know about you, but I didn't see any guys wearing MAGA hats breaking the woman's face, pistol whooping the small business owner, and carjacking that family in their driveway. I could be wrong. Maybe I missed the red hat, but all I hear about is this MAGA crime wave, and I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, and it's not a.
Okay, you gotta love Fox News, right? Every crime that they show being committed, they put black people in it. If you notice that, they put black people in it. They act like we are the only people that commit crimes in America. They act like we are the ones that commit all the violence in America. And what he just said was a great fucking lie. Another big lie from Fox News. You gotta love them, right? Because if you want to talk about violence, what happened up there in Buffalo? What I'm not attributing that to MAGA, but it was a white supremacist. It was a white man, right? Look at all the mass shootings that's been happening. And you don't see violence? What are you talking about? See, these people come on TV and they get to spill this information, but they call people like me, other people that's coming out and doing videos on these people, they want to call those people purveyors of misinformation. This right here is the definition of misinformation, because he just straight up told a freaking lie. But let's continue.
MAGA crime wave. It is a crime wave that has been caused, let me say it again, by this, we've got to defund and disrespect the police. Look, we've got political leaders in this country who think cops are a bigger problem than criminals.
You're right.
They do. They think cops are guilty until proven innocent. What you allow is what will continue.
Yeah, I mean,
excuse me. I don't think that's the case at all, because anytime some police officer get convicted of a crime, it goes hella long. It goes to the grand jury, and 90% of the time, I'll have my numbers in front of me, but from what I see, most of them get off. And I'm sure and aware, see, when people say defund the police, I'm pretty sure people are aware that when they say defund the police, they don't really mean that they don't want police or don't need police. What they're saying is they need reform, because the way the policing is happening now is not helping the people. When you have a profit motive behind policing, behind people going to jail, if there's a profit motive behind it, guess what? You're going to have more people locked the fuck up. You're going to have more people going to jail and being harassed by police, because there's a profit motive behind it. So when I mean by profit motive, why do they have quotas for tickets and fines and charges? So certain municipalities that go out and harass certain people can get some money, because if it weren't for traffic stops, they wouldn't have no revenue coming in. And you can ask that of almost every New Jersey citizen that lives in a city. What happens when they go outside of that city? They get pulled over. Okay? And they get fines and all kinds of surcharges and everything the fuck else. So when you say that people don't need police, I'm sure crime happens all the fucking time, everywhere. So nobody's saying defund them and not have a replacement idea. They're saying that it needs to be reformed. And most people that brought up defunding the police, they had a plan of a community plan behind it. Whereas they had an alternative instead of not having a police force at all. Nobody's saying that, but this is the things, the trickery they try to do to get you to believe that what they're saying when it comes to wokeness is something other than what it really is.
And when you think the prisons and the police are wrong, that's not a good starting point.
Can I say one more
sure.
thing, Jesse?
Yep.
Real quickly, if you like what you've heard tonight, would you go to my website, johnkennedy.com?
No, we're not doing that. And I'm going to stop this video here, because we're not doing that. We're not going to. Nah, we're not advertising you, homeboy. Yeah. So to get back to it, some of these clowns, this is what they use and to try to make you think that woke is something other than it's not. Being woke is directly attributed to you seeing police brutality, knowing that it's a thing, and that is happening to certain groups of people, and you want something done about it. But oh no, they want to conflate it with the defund the police people. They want to conflate it with all these other different movements when it's really not that. Being woke is being aware. And I had recently went inside some guy's I went inside his channel because I thought it was something that I needed to speak on. And because I I know what they're trying to do. And I want you good people to know what they're trying to do. And this is what I said, this is what I said to him. I don't want to pull his channel up because I don't think it's worthy of you people's ears, in my opinion. But they was doing a segment on woke, the word woke. And this is what I said. I said being woke was co-opted by all different kinds of movements. But being woke in the beginning basically was for people to pay attention to what's been going on politically by the 1% and billionaires and politicians, period. When you add context, don't forget to say that. Being woke and the story around it has been watered down by people like you and Bill Maher and other people. Your narratives add to the confusion. You're welcome. Enjoy your day. And the reason why I said it to them like that is because these are people that professed themselves to be on the left, right? But everybody want to jump on that right-wing bandwagon right now because they the ones that are consuming content, okay? When these fake left, fake progressive people come out and they get outed and people start leaving them and going other places to get their information, what they do is start talking more right-wing talking points. That way they could start to draw some right-wing people in. Like, point in case, Bill Maher. Okay? Let's look at this goofy. Let's look at some of this goofy because Bill Maher is a guy for years that I used to watch him. Like when Bernie Sanders was running, he said, yeah, I like Bernie and what he's talking about and this, and I'm rolling with Bernie. He did this years ago, right? And a couple years later, he was like, I like Amy Klobuchar. I said, whoa, whoa. That is a big jump to go from a guy who want Medicare for all, free college tuition for state universities, and some other left-wing priorities in his eyes that he would like to have. Bill Maher was all for those things, but not those things. He just wanted somebody in there that he could say, yeah, he's on the left. And he probably would have loved to have Bernie in there so he could have something really to talk about. But they got Trump instead. And he loved that even more because for years he was rolling against Trump like gangbusters, as well as everybody else. And honestly, in my opinion, I know why they did it. His ratings is you know, the so-called woke people that they tried to make everybody into, they really did a number on that man, and he deserved it. Okay. His policies was terrible. He wasn't nothing but George Bush as far as policy is concerned, but he brought an ugly face to it because he used to say the shit that people didn't want him to say. He used to be a truth teller, not on purpose, but by accident. And that's what they didn't like about Trump. Right? That's what they didn't like about Trump. They didn't like him because he was a bad politician, which he was. They didn't like him because he used to slip up sometime and say the shit they don't want you to hear out loud. Like when he was talking about, yeah, we got the Syrian oil fields. Yeah, we secured the oil. They didn't want him to say that. They wanted him to say, yes, we're bringing democracy to Syria. Right? They said, oh, Trump probably said, what'd he say? Yeah, I'm going to get the troops out of Afghanistan, right? And they went crazy. The Democrats went crazy. The news company, MSNBC, CNN. Oh, he's crazy. He's going to let the terrorists get away. Joe Biden get in there, do the same thing, and then you hear nothing but fucking crickets. Do you see the difference, people? Do you see the difference? I'm sure you see the difference. And I guarantee you that none of these organizations want anybody to win but Donald Trump. You know why? Because that's the best ratings they ever had in years. And they all miss him. CNN then rotated their whole lineup up because they ain't got enough people over there to talk shit about Trump. He ain't giving them enough news. Joe Biden ain't giving you nothing but crickets. So they don't want him in there. They want Donald Trump in there so y'all can come back and watch their bullshit, slander, propaganda, and everything else. All right, so let's get back on point. Bill freaking Maher. Bill freaking Maher. Supposed leftist, well, I ain't gonna say supposed. What I will say is I never ever considered him as a leftist. I considered him as an opportunist, a capitalist. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you switch from a guy like Bernie Sanders, who's actually trying to materially make people's life better, and then change to Amy Klobuchar, you don't have a left-wing bone in you, because Amy Klobuchar represents the status quo, the normal shit, the shit we got right now. That's who she represents. Bernie Sanders was actually trying to bring in a different form of government where it was trying to help the people, which we haven't had since FDR. When he made I don't know if it helped black people, but it helped a lot of people get some work, brought America out of the depression and got people working with a government jobs program. And what I will say to those jokers on Fox News, you know what would stop a whole lot of this crime that's going on right now? You know what would stop a whole lot of bullshit going on right now. A lot of people coming on TV and on YouTube and on all the social media apps complaining about what's going on right now. You know what would stop a whole lot of that shit? Something like FDR did, a federal jobs program, where you put millions of people back to work with good paying jobs. And if people's life materially gets better, then you wouldn't have dissension, would you? You wouldn't have crime on the streets, people. You wouldn't have a need to hire so many more cops because you'll have more people out here living better lives. But that's the part they don't never talk about. That's the part that they like to gloss over. Oh, crime is up, like there's no reason for the shit. You know, the reason for the shit is because there's a lot of jokers out here doing bad. So let's get to the root of the problems and not trying to put problems on people. Because, see, that's what they try to do. They try to blame people for shit they don't have no control over. The people that do have the keys are keeping the doors locked, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's get to Bill freaking Maher on his woke bullshit, okay? Because I thought it was funny to hear this clown. Sorry, good people. I was interrupted. I had a family emergency call, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm back. Bill Maher and his fake left ass been going on his show talking about the younger people today and their wokeness and every problem with society, every problem with America and his politics, America and his crime, America and his whatever is attributed to wokeness. And he basically blaming young folks today for the problems that we have in America, which is bullshit. Because just like I said before, you can attribute everything that's going on right now basically to corporate fucking greed. Corporate fucking greed. Because there's no reason why these prices are so fucking high. They make up excuses talking about we're paying more to bring stuff in, so we got to put it on the people. You motherfuckers have been making profits for years. For years, they've been making profits. So let's just say for one measly year, your profits were down a little bit because they still making money. But how much money do you need? So everything, as far as inflation, I'm not going to say there ain't no trickle down effect from what's going on with this war. But what I will say is corporate greed has a whole lot to do with why people paying so many high prices, because the profits got to be more than what they was last year. They don't believe of breaking even, or they don't believe in not turning a profit because the shareholders on Wall Street will have a problem with that. No, they got to make an exorbitant amount of money and blame it on somebody. It's woke culture, folks. Stop playing. And this is a part of being woke, is what I'm telling you today. Being aware of the bullshit that they try to tell you. But okay. Sorry I made y'all suffer through that goofy shit by the clown we all know as Bill Maher, a shell of his self, good people. How do you come up with a show called Politically Incorrect and everything you say is politically correct now? Right? But see, at the end of the day, good people, You got to see the way they try to form these narratives around something that had prominence in the beginning, a word that was used to describe people waking up out of their shell, hence the word woke, right? You got to love how they create their narratives nowadays, good people. It's a lot of these jokers out here doing it. That's all I've seen for a couple of weeks. This podcaster doing it, this podcaster doing it, disparaging the word woke. Hey, man, you don't have to be a consumer of media, because if we didn't see it and we heard it, you would think the same thing. All I say is have at it, because the people that know what that word means and are living that life and are giving people the red pill to wake up, they know what that word means. I tell everybody, I broke out the Matrix. And when Neo broke out of the Matrix, he woke up because he was asleep the whole time and being controlled by a machine. And we are living in those times right now. The corporate machine, the corporate bubble. And people are waking up. And they want you to think that you're not woke. That's why they attributed all this other stuff to, not attribute all this other stuff into being woke, when that is not what it means. What it means to be woke is simply this, good people. And I'm going to read it again because I think what I said makes sense. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but let me see. Okay, why it ain't letting me do it? See this? They don't want me to say it again, but here we go. Being woke was co-opted by all different communities and agendas. But being woke in the beginning basically was for people to pay attention to what's been going on politically by the 1% and billionaires and politicians, period. That's what woke is. When you add context to being woke, don't forget to say that. Being woke and the story around it has been watered down by people like you and Bill Maher and others. Your narratives add to the confusion. You're welcome. Enjoy your day. And that's what I said to a guy. It was two gentlemen that did something on woke, and they sound like Bill Maher, and they sound like that other gentleman earlier that was on Fox News. I said that to them because they create these narratives so you can't take something that has symbolism like being woke and use it for what it really is. What I'm trying to do for my audience is give them information, let them disseminate it for themselves. And if they need more, it's out there, good people. Yes. Oh, man. I got another video for y'all, and then we gonna end this podcast. There was this video I watched, and I thought it was it symbolizes the message that I was trying to make, and it tells you how the word woke was being co-opted. Okay, it shows you, and this gentleman did a great job of explaining it. So I thought I'd bring it to your attention. Okay, so we're going to share the screen again. And this will be the last video, and then we're going to get up out of here. Okay, this gentleman pretty much explained everything in a nutshell of how certain movements got co-opted. And check it out.
And this is what I think about your silly little joke.
And that's why everyone needs at least one gay friend.
Excuse me? You stop! You're being offensive.
Get off the stage.
Ma'am, you've been booing the whole show. Are you guys having a good time?
Guys, how dare you misgender us? You know what? I work for the biggest media blog in California, and you, sir, are canceled.
Ooh, are you threatening me?
It's not a threat, it's a promise. And this is what I think about your stupid little joke.
It's okay, guys, it's okay. She's a little tipsy, and I'm gonna turn this into a teachable moment. See, ma'am, you threw your drink on me like a goof. And so out of all the languages in the world, tonight, I'm gonna speak truth. See, you came to my show, disrespecting all night. But here's something you should know. Just because you're triggered doesn't mean you're right. See, you cancel culture people don't fight fair. You call yourself woke, but you're still asleep and causing nightmares.
Excuse me, I am a hero fighting for social justice.
Social justice? Here's the thing. Let's call it for what it is. 21st century bullying. See, honestly, that's your main policy. You bully someone online till they apologize, and then after they do, you don't even accept their apology.
How dare you? Where's the manager?
You know what? We're out of here.
No. Let's talk cancel culture, right? Aren't you guys having fun? See, all jokes aside, I'm with you. Vicious crimes like Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly are despicable and should be punished for show. But canceling somebody for giving an opinion you don't like, or telling a joke, or a tweet they wrote 10 years ago, and now their whole life is dismantled? Man, people are not Netflix subscriptions. A human being should not be canceled. Clearly you lack compassion. I mean, what if somebody reduced your whole life story into one chapter?
I guess I wouldn't like that.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, God forbid. So stop calling people out. How about you call them in? Be honest. Inside, you're dealing with a lot of anger. Because if you really wanted change behavior, you wouldn't start a fight. You'd start a conversation. Not to undermine, but to understand that person's conscious. See, people can be redeemed. Everyone's story has a plot twist. I mean, if the world met 20-year-old Maya Angelou, it would have canceled her because she was a known prostitute. Jesus, I mean, do we cancel Martin Luther King? Erase all of his achievements? Because some historians claim on his wife he cheated? No. How about we realize we all make mistakes and have shadows? And the greater the light, that shadow gets bigger. Everybody, raise your glass if you wish we lived in a world where we hated the sin, not the sinner. See, miss, the only thing we should cancel is cancel culture. And that's the truth. And if you don't understand that, then the real joke is on you.
Would you look at that? Common sense out of nonsense. Common sense out of nonsense. Okay? You know, a lot of people lack common sense. And that's why people like Bill Maher, Steven Crowder, Fox News, Kennedy, you know, it's real easy for them to look at a person like her with her woke as fuck t-shirt on and be like, nah, we don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that because that's not what woke is. That's called co-opting a word and using it for your own goods and services, which all these people are doing on their shows, taking the word woke and making it mediocre because mediocre people are acting like they're woke. But when they really do have is an agenda, and it's their own agenda. Yeah, good people, the cancel culture is real. I felt it myself. All because I said something that somebody don't like. But you know what? I'ma say it again and again and again. Because my name is TP, not Needy. And I am woke. I'm woke as fuck. Stop playing. This has been your Don't Listen podcast with your boy TP. And I just let y'all know what the word woke means to me. It ain't what it is, but it is what it should be. And I say again to all you mofos out there that don't like me, stop playing with me. I wish all of you good people nothing but peace on your journey. And don't get caught up in the matrix, if you know what I mean. Stop playing. I'm out. Peace.
This is Young TP. You are listening to your Don't Listen podcast. Stop playing.
Stop playing.